Hello, this is William McKissock with Scully Mitchell, your expense reduction consultant. And as you know, at Scully Mitchell, we love to promote other businesses for free on social media. We love to give back to the community in other ways. And today I have with me Emilee Tucker, who's an emotional breakthrough coach, and her company is called Authentic Leadership Consulting. Welcome to the show, Emilee.
Thank you so much, William. I'm excited to be here.
Absolute pleasure. So, before we get into the emotional breakthrough coaching and everything that you do, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to be here. We're in Tampa. Tell me how you arrived where you are now.
Yeah, so I moved from Connecticut a little over a year ago. You and I, we met at Center Club, which is a fabulous place. So with my move, I branched out into my own business. I really wanted to have impact. And the way that I could do that is really branch out on my own. And I love Tampa. I wanted warm weather. I wanted good
Yeah.
people. I wanted close to the ocean. So that was one of the reasons for me to relocate.
So fantastic. It's lovely to have you here. I've been here almost 15 years. I feel like I'm a local already, even though I don't have the accent. Anyway, so tell us a little bit more about what you do and obviously emotional breakthrough coaching. So what is that and who's the kind of clients that you work with?
Yeah, so great question. So, how did I get into this work? I really led with curiosity. I love leadership development, I love personal development, and I also love spiritual development. So, that's what is really the crux of my work. How can I move people through to a next level? And when I think of the people that I'm working with, are they're business makers, they're decision makers, business leaders, and there is an opportunity to grow. There's a level of awareness as well. Great areas for me are in the technical field. They're brilliant individuals. There also may be a gap in emotional intelligence and communication. An example I give, have you ever wrote out a text message or an email and you send it and you're, oh, I shouldn't have sent that text or I
Oh
shouldn't
yeah,
have sent that email.
yeah,
Right?
well
So
done that.
that's so that's just simply one piece of the work that I do is really bring up that level of awareness and communication.
So it's for me as the layperson, and obviously if you're watching this and you're not really sure what Emilee does, so you're helping people kind of like deal with the emotions that are like caused by their actions. Is that kind of, am I reading that right?
Yeah, I think we're human, so we're having a human experience. And when you come into business, those relationships matter too. So I help businesses and business leaders with their relationships through communication.
Right. Okay. So tell us a little bit like what it looks like to work with a client in a daily. What kind of client? Just give me an example of a client and kind of give us a kind of walkthrough of what that process would look like.
Yeah, so my offerings range. It depends on really what does either the business or the business leader need. And that can be one-on-one, it could be group, it can be facilitation work. I do find some organizations, they simply need to be able to offer a workshop. People will leave organizations because of not necessarily the best of managers, or there's not development opportunities. So
Mhm.
really the level of work that I do is how can we bring together some development opportunities?
You work well, obviously through the leadership, the C-suite down the organisation, similar to what we do in School of Mitchell. We want to start with the C-suite and then work the way down. So you're the same. When you're reaching out to companies or companies are reaching out to you, what's the kind of questions they're asking you to get you to come on board?
Yeah, there's usually a gap in communication. And when, again, if communication is not there and you're not understanding how you show up and also how other people around you are showing up. A recent example, I had put together a program for a small team of managers, and there was simply a breakdown in their value system. The managers were having a level of different values as the owner of the company. And because we unlocked some of these things, they were able to move forward. And that example was autonomy. So the micromanage autonomy gap that we get into at times because of that trust. And with the work that I do is let's get to the root of what's going on so
Mhm.
we can move that relationship forward. We can have better conversations and that impacts the bottom line, which I know that's part of the work that you do, right? You look at the bottom line in a different way. You look at the systems, the processes, what is being spent, and on how are we doing the work.
Yeah, the word efficiencies come to mind because when we're looking at companies to save them money, it's not just like it's cheaper over here because it's cheaper over here. We want to make sure that they have a more streamlined system in place. And you're doing the same thing because communication breakdown is key in an organization. Your people are your biggest asset in your organization. So therefore, if that's not working, that nothing's working. And I absolutely get where you're coming in. That's absolutely fantastic. Is there any, can you give us an example of a sort of single particular problem an organization has come to you to say, okay, here's one particular piece of the communication system that's broken down. Can you fix that?
Yeah, so one particular issue of the communication, I think it's style. Sometimes it's simply the
Right.
communication style and also the formatting of communication. So, the example I was just giving you with that small group of managers, the way that they were communicating had too many different channels. The expectations weren't condensed. So, resetting how are they communicating? What are they communicating about? Understanding what's priority versus not, and also setting healthy boundaries from both sides. So if you're
Mhm.
sending an email at 11 o'clock, what's that expectation, right? Or do we shift some of those culture pieces of those behaviors as well? So the way that I do my work is I holistically take a look, which I bring in leadership principles, I bring in practical strategies, and I bring up energetics to my work, which not all businesses or coaches really take that perspective. And we go, where is this coming from? Is it a trust issue? Is it a fear issue of things aren't going to get done, right? And when you have communication, you bridge those gaps, so you're able to
Yeah.
again have that bottom line be a more robust bottom line.
Yeah, absolutely. We 100% agree in that. If you're watching this video, we help businesses be more profitable by looking for savings. Emilee helps businesses be more profitable by having the best work out of the employees possible through communication and making sure everybody's singing from the same hymn sheet. Is that a good way to analyze what you do?
Yeah, I think the crux of what I do is emotional intelligence and
Yes.
communication. And for those who think of emotional intelligence, it's how do you manage how you're showing up? How are you reacting versus responding? And not just with yourself, but with the people around you. I give the example of reading the room. There are people that they don't necessarily connect to the social cues, and that impacts the dynamics, especially in the workplace. So, having that feedback loop in place can really be beneficial to an organization because there's two skills, right? There's delivering feedback and
Yeah.
receiving feedback,
Yes.
and that all goes into the communication bucket.
Yeah, absolutely. What I meant to say at that last piece when I was speaking is you can see Emilee's details underneath her portion of the video. And please reach out to her, email address, phone number, everything's there. Just give her a call. As you can see, she really knows what she's talking about and she can help your business be more profitable. We love that when we interview people that can help businesses be more profitable through the work that they do. Emilee, thank you very much for coming on the show. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. I love what you do. And as I say, please reach out to Emilee at her details below. Thank you very much, Emilee.
Thank you, William. I much appreciate your time and your exposure. So, thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure. I'll now hand it over to Dave for the weather.